your honored judges, most welcome guests in the back. Don't you love eating an Irish doner kebab, going to later on buying cheap cigarettes from a Turkish blog, and later on going into a Vietnamese pub? You look a little confused. Do you think I got the stereotypes wrong? Uh-oh. You look, don't tell me you have any prejudices against other nationalities. Well, you wouldn't admit anyhow, because in this country people might think you're radical, intolerant, or even politically misleaded. But if that's the case, that you still hold on to some old-fashioned prejudices, don't worry. It's not too late to change. I've traveled to many places, and I've also lived abroad for some time. And that's why I want to share with you guys a few of the learning experiences that changed the perspective I'm looking at prejudices. Let's start with, who of you has been to Brandenburg? Thank you very much. Someone, you have to drive through it to get to the rest of Germany, right? So I grew up in a small town in Brandenburg, and I just want to give you a small example about how the attitude of the locals is back there. If you tell them, or if they find out that you're from a different country like Western Berlin, they look at you as if you're the reincarnation of the devil. So imagine the narrow-mindedness of the people I grew up with. And when I went to school there, I had the option to learn 2 languages, French and Latin. So that's how they prepared us for life, right? When I left school, I was perfectly skilled to either join the mafia or join a monastery instead. And I forgot about French, we had French as well. But when you're a teenager looking for manhood, learning a language that sounds a little gay does not appeal to you that much. And anyhow, I thought, well, voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? Merci. I get far enough in that country. And French isn't even a world language anymore. When they don't tell the French, they still think it is. That's why they never learn a second language. When I was 17, a lot of travel agencies found out that somehow parents would spend a fortune to send their children to different countries, including my parents. So no price was too high to get rid of me for a year for that. That's what I did. And there was a lot of advertising going on, like open your mind, broaden your cultural horizon, become more tolerant, become more international. It had never been promoted that much to become a hippie, actually. But when you go to a different country and you learn about other cultures, do we really get rid of our prejudices? Yes or no? Not really, not in my case. You know, I remember when I was going to school in Argentina for a year, I experienced the organized chaos. I mean, the pupils were just running and jumping across the tables, shouting and yelling the whole time. I was shocked. I mean, it was so disorganized, but it can't be more obvious. Even the most famous Argentinian is called Messi. And I found out that they're even more possessed with soccer than I thought they were. They even built a church for Maradona because they believe that he's the rebirth of Jesus Christ. Because hand of God and all that, you know all that. It's true. And two years later, I went to Ireland to work on a farm there. And what do you know about the Irish? Drink. Yeah. The Irish Guinness and Catholic. And it's right. I mean, the Irish go out on Saturday to have some crack with their lads. And they get so scattered drunk that they don't even notice when they're picking up their second cousin. Which is very likely to happen because somehow they are all related to each other, I found out. And maybe that might be an explanation for their red hair and freckles and jug ears. And the next day or on Sunday they confess at Mass. But the little they remember. But they are great people anyway, I did enjoy my time. But the thing that impressed me the most was how other nationalities look at us, the Germans. Well-structured, organized, analytical thinking, blonde hair, blue eyes, not funny. I thought though those prejudices wouldn't ever fit for me though, but I remember when I went out with my Argentinian friends, they had to go and they asked me, well, what are you doing? So I took out a slip of paper where I jotted down all the pubs and clubs I wanted to go to, where they were located, how much the entrance was. And that moment I really realized what a spontaneous guy I actually am. Well, okay, you have heard a lot of prejudices right now, and you might think, did this guy learn anything at all? But I want to leave you with that today. If you learn about other cultures and nationalities, you will find even more material for forming prejudices. But it depends on your view and how you look at them. If you don't get the irony behind all the generalizations, and you take them for real or feel insulted by them, you will stay a narrow-minded person. But if we look at prejudices in a more humorous way, I think they bring us more together than they tear us apart. So always remember, prejudices can be a wonderful start for a conversation between two individuals with a different cultural background.